Eva would sit at the front of the class, but no one wanted to sit near her. All the chairs around her would be empty. The lecturers who admired her in the first week now ignored her. During class, the teacher announced a group assignment.
When I call your name, please join the group.
The teacher instructed,
This assignment is important and counts for 25% of your marks.
The teacher began calling out names. When he called Ife, she was assigned to Group B, which included some of the friends she had made in the first week. As she stood up, they started laughing. One of the girls sneered.
Didn't you say your name is Eva? I knew it. You could never be her.
They all laughed and one of them told the teacher,
We don't want Ife in our group.
The teacher frowned.
You cannot choose who is in your group. Only I can decide that.
Suddenly, another group raised their hand.
We don't want Anna in our group either.
One of them shouted, referring to a lady with pimples who was always quiet and looked down on herself. The class erupted in laughter. The teacher struggled to calm everyone down. Eva stood up and said firmly, Don't worry about me, sir. I will do the assignment with her. The room fell silent. Some students muttered.
You deserve each other.
Eva replied confidently, Of course we do. The lady they called Anna, whose real name was Obi, looked very sad and ran out of the classroom. Eva ran after her, calling out, Please wait. There was a very handsome guy in the corridor, calling out to Obi, looking in Obi's direction. As Eva ran down the corridor, she accidentally bumped into the handsome guy. His books fell on the floor. Eva quickly glanced up and saw Obi running into the bathroom, but she stopped to help the guy pick up his books. I'm sorry, so sorry, Eva said repeatedly. The guy smiled and said,
It's okay, really.
After they picked up the books, Eva rushed to find Obi. The guy gently grabbed her hand and asked,
Please, what is your name?
My name is Ife, she replied quickly and then ran after Obi. Other students who saw the handsome guy talking to Eva started laughing. Some said,
She means her name is the opposite of Eva.
The girls were gossiping.
What is a handsome guy like this doing talking to that hideous girl?
Eva ignored the comment and focused on finding Obi. She finally caught up with her in the bathroom. Obi, please don't be sad, Eva said gently. We will do this assignment together and show them what we can do. Obi wiped her tears and managed a small smile.
Thank you, Eva. You are the only one who has been kind to me.
Obi moved to sit at the front next to Eva, and they started talking and laughing. During lunch, Eva was usually alone, but one afternoon, as she sat down to eat, she heard voices.
Can we join you?
Obi asked. To Eva's surprise, Obi was not alone. The handsome guy she had bumped into was with her. Eva nodded, and they all sat down together.
Thank you for standing up for my sister.
The guy said.
My name is Chuku.
Eva was taken aback. Your sister?
Yes, Obi is my sister.
Chuku replied with a warm smile. Eva was captivated by Chuku as he spoke. She felt frozen in place. It was love at first sight for her. Chuku continued to talk.
I am in my final year of business management,
He said, but Eva barely heard his voice. She was lost in her own world, admiring Chuku. She noticed his kind eyes, his gentle smile, and the way he spoke with confidence. Everything about him seemed perfect to her. Obi noticed Eva's distraction and smiled knowingly.
Eva, are you okay?
Eva snapped back to reality. Yes, I'm fine. It's just nice to have company. Chuku chuckled.
I'm glad we can join you. We could not do this more often.
Eva nodded, feeling a warmth in her heart. When Eva got to her room, she removed her mask. She thought to herself, I have to take this off so that Chuku can see the real me. But what if he doesn't like me at all? Maybe he only likes the Ife he sees now. Eva started pacing back and forth, wondering if Chuku liked her for who she truly is. Her thoughts were racing. She threw herself on the bed, staring at the ceiling and saying to herself, anyways, I will wait a bit longer, she said softly. Maybe it's better this way for now, she smiled, feeling a mix of nervousness and excitement, not sure what the future held, but hopeful for what might come. The next morning, Eva was very excited. She wore the best outfit she had sewn herself. Obi noticed and smiled.
Why are you all dressed up, Eva?
Obi asked teasingly. Eva just grinned. In class, everyone stared at her. The ladies whispered to each other.
The outfit may be beautiful, but it won't take away her hideous face.
But from that day on, nothing could take away Eva's happiness. Whenever Obi told a little joke, Eva would burst out laughing. When lunchtime came, Eva was the first to rush out of the classroom, leaving Obi behind.
Wait for me, Eva.
Obi called out. Eva and Obi sat at the usual spot. After a while, Eva started to feel anxious. Where is Chuku? Lunch is almost over. Obi gave her a knowing smile.
I don't know. We don't always hang out together, you know.
Eva felt a pang of sadness, but suddenly, Chuku came running over.
Oh, I had to submit my final assignment. Today is my last day here. I will only come back to submit assignments.
Chuku explained. He looked at Eva and added,
I'm glad you are taking care of my sister Eva. You have been very kind to her.
Eva nodded, trying to hide her disappointment. Chuku noticed and teased.
Are you sad that you won't be seeing me anymore?
Eva smiled quickly and said, No, I've been hanging out by myself all this while. Chuku laughed, and they all went back to class. Eva and Obi became the best of friends. Surprisingly, every now and then, Chuku would come to college and hang out with Eva, giving the excuse of submitting his school work. Eva started thinking they would remain just friends because Chuku never spoke of love or asked her out. She began doubting herself, thinking that wearing the ugly mask might have been a bad idea. Despite her doubts, Eva focused on her studies and her friendship with Obi. All the work that Eva and Obi did together was excellent, and they passed with flying colors. As the year went by, everyone got used to seeing them together. They became a well-known ugly pair. In college, while many girls were meeting their suitors and experiencing nightlife, Eva and Obi noticed that no guys were asking them out or even looking their way. This reality was sometimes hard to ignore, especially when they saw their classmates going out on dates and enjoying social events. One evening, as they were studying in their room, Obi sighed and looked at Eva.
Do you ever wonder why no one asks us out, Eva?
Eva looked up from her book and smiled sadly. Sometimes, but I think it's because they don't see the real us. They only see what's on the outside. Obi nodded in agreement. It doesn't bother me much, though I'm happy with how things are. We have each other, and we are doing well in our studies. We have our goals, and we are achieving them. That's what matters. Even though they sometimes felt left out, Obi and Eva focused on their dreams and supported each other. As the college term neared its end and holidays approached, Obi invited Eva to visit her home.
My sister is getting married and I would love for you to be there during the wedding week.
Obi said warmly.
And Chuku would love that too.
Eva was delighted by the invitation. As the last days of the term arrived, students were leaving with their luggages, some being picked up by their parents. Obi and Eva also waited for Obi's transport outside their residence. A big limousine pulled up in front of them, catching everyone's attention. The driver stepped out, dressed smartly in a uniform, and began loading Obi and Eva's luggage into the limo. "Wow, a limo?" one of their classmates exclaimed, staring in amazement. Even Eva was surprised. As they got into the limo, their classmates continued to stare. The interior of the car was plush and comfortable, and Eva couldn't help but feel a bit overwhelmed. The limousine drove off, leaving their classmates talking excitedly about what they had just seen. Eva felt a mix of excitement and curiosity about the days ahead. Grateful for Obi's friendship and the new experience awaiting her, through the limo window, Eva looked at the mansion on the hill they were approaching. Though Eva's sisters were married to wealthy men, this was different. This was old money, something she had never seen before. "Obi, my friend, who are you really?" Eva exclaimed. Obi just smiled. The limo stopped, and the doors were opened for them to exit. There were many maids lined up from the car to the front of the door of the house. As they stepped out of the car, everyone nodded and said,
"Welcome, princess."
while throwing flowers on the ground for Princess Obi to walk on. Eva's jaw dropped, and she was left speechless. The house was bustling with preparations for the upcoming wedding. The king and queen welcomed Princess Obi and Eva warmly. Eva was shown to a grand bedroom that she couldn't believe her eyes. As Eva was making herself at home, she heard a knock on her door. Chuku entered, and they both smiled, pleased to see each other. They hugged and realized it was their first hug, creating a bit of tension as they let go.
I'm so happy to see you, Eva. How are you? Have you passed?
Chuku asked eagerly. Eva laughed. "Slow down. Is it Eva or Prince Chuku? I know when the results come out." Chuku grinned.
Okay, but I know you have passed.
They hung out, and soon Obi joined them. They had so much fun together. The wedding was extravagant. Obi's elder sister married a prince from another kingdom. After the wedding reception, all the maidens gathered to catch the bouquet. Eva caught it, but she wasn't happy because she had no lover. She sighed, looked at the bouquet, feeling a mix of hope and sadness.
Don't worry, Eva.
Obi said, putting her hand on her shoulders.
Your time will come.
Chuku, standing nearby, smiled at Eva and added,
Yes, it will. You deserve all the happiness in the world.
Eva looked at both of them and felt grateful for their relationship. Feeling exhausted after the wedding, Eva went into the palace garden, still holding the bouquet. She sighed and yawned. Chuku came to the garden and they sat near the pond, looking at the stars. Chuku reached for Eva's hand, opened it and held it gently. Clearing his throat, Chuku said,
Eva, you are so kind and wonderful. I feel very happy when you are by my side.
Eva couldn't believe her ears. These were the words she had longed to hear from Chuku. She felt her voice catch in her throat, unable to speak. Chuku continued, Eva, please look at me. Eva turned blushing, barely lifting her face to meet Chuku's eyes. Chuku took a deep breath and said,
I have never felt this way about anyone else. I love you so much, Eva. When you are not with me, I feel like I can't breathe. But when you are near, everything makes sense. I have loved you since the day you bumped into me.
Tears welled up in Ava's eyes. Really, I have waited to hear this all year long. I love you too, Chuku. I love you so much. They hugged both of them over the moon, but Ava pulled back slightly and said, I have to tell you something. Chuku, excited, held her hand and said,
Come, I have to tell my mother about you. I have already told my father.
They ran back into the palace. After saying goodbye to the oldest princess, who was leaving for her honeymoon, everyone gathered inside. Chuku announced.
I want to marry Eva.
The king and Obi were happy for them, but the queen stood there, mouth open in shock. Eva took a deep breath and began to speak. I have something to say. I haven't been quite honest with you all, she said. Eva then shared her sister's stories and explained why she had hidden her true appearance. She removed her mask, revealing her true beauty. Everyone was shocked and overwhelmed by how beautiful Eva was. The queen's voice returned quickly.
Oh, my daughter, come let me give you a hug. You are indeed a future queen, so flawless.
Chuku was also stunned by Eva's beauty. The queen herself accompanying Eva back to her village to talk to Eva's parents about the marriage proposal. Eva and Chuku were engaged before the college reopened. When the college reopened at the beginning of the year, a function was held to award the best student. Eva was the top student in the fashion design class. As she was called up to the stage to receive her award, she wore her mask. Eva accepted her award, but as she stood to give her speech, she removed her mask. Everyone was shocked and in awe. Chuku shouted from the crowd.
That is my wife.
From that day on, no one wanted to go to their classes. The school burst with the news of Obi's wealth, the limos, and the beautiful Eva and her prince. From that day on, everyone wanted to be friends with Eva and Obi, but they were already inseparable and didn't let anyone else in. Eva's wedding to the prince was held at the end of the year after she graduated with her 2 years diploma and opened a very successful company where they designed everything from socks to wedding gowns. The king and queen called Kemi and Ada's husband and warned them sternly about their abuse. The husbands promised never to mistreat the two sisters again, and Eva lived happily after. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. For my returning subscribers, I say a very big thank you to you all. And if you're new to this channel, please do well to subscribe, like, comment, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you'll be the first person to see. Bye.